My name is Kayla Swanton, and this is my infographic for MAT Year 3. The original idea I had for my infographic was to provide information about the digital divide. However, when I started conducting my research, I discovered that there are various aspects that contribute to the digital divide. So I wanted to convey the significance and relationship between these particular aspects. The first being having access to a technological device. The digital literacy to be able to use the internet or a technological device, and information bias, which is pointing out how much content students access which features people who are white, and if they are not white, that can lead them to struggling to connect to the content. I chose to lay my infographic out as landscape instead of the traditional long, narrow design of infographics used for scrolling. I thought that this was important because I wanted to display all of the information at once, because it all contributes equally to the digital divide, and putting one part on top of another in a longer infographic may make the relationship between the three more difficult to see. I feel that my use of complementary orange and blue make my infographic visually pop, and the data conveyed through icons, graphs, and charts is clear. By putting the title in the center and adding a gradient effect, the topic of my infographic is immediately understood. I spaced out the letters in the word gap to enhance the meaning. I used a lot of data to display my message. I communicated the data with pictures and charts, the orange being representative of an underlying factor for the digital divide. The viewer can draw his or her own conclusions about the implicit impacts from this data, but the data itself is undeniable. While using Illustrator, I struggled to use layers. I'm very familiar and comfortable with Smartboard, and as I was grouping things together and moving things around, that's what it began to feel like I was making, and so I struggled to use the layering aspect of Illustrator. In the future, when I use Illustrator, I will need to practice using layers more. Overall, I'm pleased with the outcome. I learned a lot about my topic, and I learned a lot about Illustrator, which I'd never used before. I can certainly see myself making infographics in the future to convey information about technology to the teachers in my school district.